Thank you for listening to the Good Neighbor Podcast, West Denver. Here's a quick message from our sponsor, Local Works Wheat Ridge, provided by its Executive Director, Paige Piper.
Local Works is a nonprofit organization whose mission is to make Wheat Ridge a more vibrant and sustainable place to live and work. Our mission and action is programming that provides neighborhood revitalization and small business support, keeping and growing the businesses we know and love in Wheat Ridge. In simpler form, we provide connection. Connection to business, connection to community.
This is the Good Neighbor Podcast, the place where local businesses and neighbors come together. Here's your host, Meg Smith.
Well, hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Good Neighbor Podcast, West Denver. This is Meg Smith, and I'm here with Shelley Flood from Red Silo Coffee Roasters. How are you, Shelley?
I am doing very well today. We have sunshine out here, so that always makes me happy.
100% agreement from me. I know. I was out of town and I flew back and there was snow, and I was like, meh.
Yeah, I know. I'm not ready.
So much better. Yeah, totally. I know. Winter is coming. So yeah, tell everyone a little bit about Red Silo Coffee Roasters.
Sure. Well, we are all things coffee. We are a craft coffee roaster, and we currently have 2 locations. One is in West Arvada, and one is in downtown Golden. So, our focus sort of has become really bringing the community together over a great cup of coffee. Kind of boils all down to that. Our original location is located, the one in West Arvada is located in what used to be an old farming homestead, complete with, you guessed it, a big red silo on the property. So to us, the silo really, it represented community. It represented a gathering place for friends and family. And so Red Silo Coffee Roasters was born. So we strive, we really want to present our community with the world's very best coffees. Each of our coffees are single origin. And what that means is they come from a single farm or collective. There are no blends. We don't have a bunch of different blends. They're all single origin coffees. And that really is the gold standard when it comes to coffee. We strive to provide the best, not only the best coffee, but the best experience when you come into Red Silo. Our baristas are top notch. They're so knowledgeable, they're approachable, they're friendly. And I may be dating myself a little bit here, but we really want to be the Cheers of coffee, a place where we know your name and you feel right at home and you feel, like you are home.
That's fantastic. I love the experiential part of your mission and having folks feel at home. I love it because you're really part of the community with your locations too.
Oh,
so,
yeah, for sure.
Folks love you. Yeah, that's awesome. So how did you get into this in the first place?
Goodness. That's a great question, Meg. I sometimes ask myself that. The first thing that you need to know is that Red Silo started out as a side hustle. My business partner in Red Silo, his name is Greg Pierce, and he's a local builder developer here on the west side of town. And he's building a business campus in West Arvada that's called Microspaces. So this business campus is really meant to be an incubator for small businesses. So it's a place where they can, purchase a unit, run their business out of a space that they own themselves, instead of paying rent to someone. And so whether it's like an online fulfillment center or a real estate agent or, really any other kind of undertaking, it just gives them the opportunity to own their own space. So Red Silo was originally meant to be a craft coffee roaster that was just going to provide an amenity for the people who worked on this business campus. So we estimate by the time all 8 buildings are complete, it'll be 300-400 people that will be working here. So it was really just meant for, kind of a little coffee shop. Little did we know, when Greg and I partnered together and launched, we had no idea that the community we would be so overwhelmingly supported. Not just by the business campus, but by all of West Arvada. And now we have a second location in Golden, and we're getting the same kind of support from the community. It's really, it's been kind of awe-inspiring, to be honest. Before we opened our brick and mortar location, before it was finished, when it was still in construction, we had all the equipment. We were already, bringing coffee in. So we decided to launch Red Silo at the Golden Farmers Market. And that was in the summer of 2018. And I got to tell you, a little side note, I have so much respect for the people that do farmers markets every weekend, because that is a heck of a lot of work. It's impressive. but definitely so worth it. Because like week after week, we were just amazed at all the support we were getting from the local community. Everybody was super excited for us to get our physical shop open, and to be a part of that whole process as well. So we actually opened our first brick and mortar location in West Arvada on October 27th of that same year. So, fun fact, we literally last week just celebrated our 5-year anniversary of Red Silo. So pretty exciting, fun stuff.
Congratulations. I love it. Yeah, that's fantastic. And I want to hear more about the micro spaces. I'll have to have him on the podcast for a separate interview.
Yeah, it's an awesome product. I'm sure he would love that.
Yeah. So I know that folks are, obviously coming back to you for the experience that you're providing, but are there any other reasons that, your customers like to come in and stick with your coffee shop versus others?
Well, and I think it's twofold, really. I think that people keep coming back because we provide a great product. We're really proud of the coffee. We work super hard to just source the very best coffees that we can find and whatnot. But so not only, do we provide a great product, but we also provide great customer service. And then our spaces are really enjoyable. People like coming and sitting and hanging out. We get told all the time how much people love our coffee, like all the time. It's really humbling. And like I said, we work really hard to source and roast and extract the best coffees in the whole world. We aim to please. I mean, we genuinely, like for real, want our customers to be happy with their experience. And not only do we want them to enjoy the coffee, we want to get to know them. There's no better feeling than making someone feel special. And it's really a rarity in our society today. And our baristas are trained just for that. If they see a regular customer coming to the door, 9 times out of 10, they've already started that customer's order, and they greet them by name when they're walking the door. It just amazes me. I mean, I'll be over there in the coffee shop, and sometimes I overhear conversations across the counter. Our baristas, like I said, they know their regulars by name, but they hear about family vacations and the new puppy and the grandchild that's on the way and, whatever. I mean, it's just awesome. So it's very relational, and it's very community oriented and engaged. And I think that separates us from a lot of other companies.
I love it. I'm always looking for like a new best friend everywhere I go. So that's like what's happening in your coffee shop. I love it.
Yeah.
So tell us, I know like it was probably challenging during COVID because, you have, and I'm sure that's a challenge you can share with us, but there could be others. Tell us about any challenges that have happened.
I think you hit the nail on the head. Because I guess it was about a little after a year that we opened, where we started hearing about COVID and kind of getting nervous about it. And then, once it really hit, I mean, I'm sure you remember, it was super scary. I mean, we didn't know anything. Nobody knew anything. We didn't know who we could trust. We didn't know what was, really going to happen and whatnot. So all I can say is that, especially for a small and relatively new business owner at that point in time, it was really frightening. And they shut everything down, as everyone remembers. Our seating area that used to hold 75 people was completely empty. Luckily, we were still able to do online orders and grab and go orders. And we were very fortunate because as a restaurant, we were deemed an essential business. So we were at least able to maintain that much. But it was a scary time, and we had to pare down our staff. We had to diminish our offerings. Greg and I would have these conversations about what was the lowest sales threshold we could withstand, and at what point would we need to close our doors for good. And so, it's scary. But once again, our incredible community supported us beyond our wildest imaginations. Like our bag coffee sales, which is one of our most profitable, products, bag coffee sales went through the roof. Our online orders were strong and steady. And we were able to get, thank goodness, a PPP loan. So we were able to make it through. And I think, honestly, on the flip side of it, as scary as it was, on the other side, I think we're better and stronger for the experience, if that makes sense. I think everything that's been thrown at us since then, and we're not the only ones, surely, to experience these, but, supply chain issues, staffing shortages, all these kinds of problems. I mean, golly, now we are having, wage inflation and whatnot. I mean, It's scary stuff for a small business owner, but at least we're able to look back and say, okay, we got through the pandemic. Like, we buckled down, we made the tough decisions, and we made it through. So whatever the current hurdle is, it can't compare. Like, it just doesn't compare to that, where our attitude is, this too shall pass. We'll do the best we can, and we'll make it through. So I think that's probably it.
Totally. Well, and it made us all, more professionally and personally adaptable, and, to have, endurance and how to get through things. So I think,
absolutely.
It was a learning experience.
And it puts a lot in perspective. I mean, it just gives you a completely different perspective having made it through that. So
yeah. Well, tell us about any new updates about the business. Anything fun happening? Any specials? Anything people should know about?
Wow. Okay. Yes, we have lots of news. So as you may know, or as I think I mentioned earlier, we opened our second location in downtown Golden, right on Washington Avenue. So it's kind of like the main drag where the big arch is that says "Welcome to Golden." We opened that location in December of last year, literally just a few days before Christmas. And we have a lot more expansion on the horizon. So early 2024, we'll see us opening a sister company. It's called Wildflower Bakery and Coffee, and we're going to open that in West Arvada. And mostly that's just an opportunity for us to move our current in-house bakery to a new location to free up some space in the back of our roastery for more coffee production. But then also we have a second location opening in South Golden, on South Golden Road. It's kind of right across from the Golden High School. And we're hoping to get that open first quarter of 2024 as well. And that will be a Red Silo Coffee Roasters, a community coffee shop. And then finally, at least for right now, we have an approved plan with the city of Arvada. We're expecting to break ground early next year. So the building will be complete probably in 2025. And that will be our first drive-through location with a large cafe with indoor seating and a balcony and everything as well. And so that is probably 2025. So we're hoping to get started early next year. We're hoping. So needless to say, we're very busy. We have a lot coming up.
Yeah. Well, congratulations. That all sounds fantastic. I can't wait to check all the locations out. Go on a little tour of all the Red Silos. That's great. So how do you guys support the community? I know you're very involved and you like to give back. Share a little bit about that. We do. And it's really part of our mission as a roastery, as a coffee shop, as a community hangout, all of that. We sponsor a lot of events. And I mean, whether that's like a 5K to support a local school or charity, or a silent auction for a nonprofit organization, we donate a lot of coffee. We also have what I think is a really great program. It's called the Giving Bag. And several times a year, we'll pick a really special coffee and we will donate 100% of the retail value of each bag of coffee that is sold. And we'll pick a specific local charity. So we try to keep it like really, really local. I know the American Cancer Society and all of those other charities are really valuable and really important, but we really want our community's dollars to stay within our community. So we have donated to places like the Arvada Food Bank, Ralston House, Robbie's Hope, which is a teen suicide prevention, Beyond Home, Karen's. I mean, just to name a few. We are so excited that we've literally been able to donate thousands of dollars to those charities that serve our local community. We really want to do more. And we're hoping that as we get more locations and we're able to get giving bags in more areas, that our donations will be able to grow exponentially. So yeah, pretty cool stuff. Excellent. Yeah. Well, doing well by doing good. I love it. Yes. That's our goal. We would like to have many zeros at the end of our donations annually. It's a big part of Greg's and my mission. Excellent. Well, and tell us a little bit about you. We like to get to know you as a person too. I know you're very busy with work, but what else do you do for fun? Yeah, well, I'm an avid tennis player. So if I'm not in the coffee shop, you can probably find me on a tennis court somewhere. And I am a local girl. I grew up in Golden and Arvada. So I am a big fan of, all the local outdoorsy stuff, hiking, skiing, cycling, all that kind of stuff. And my husband and I have really found a little bit of a passion in
patronizing other small businesses in the area. We love going to local restaurants and the new breweries that are popping up and distilleries and, shops and whatnot. I mean, that's kind of how we spend our weekends. So fun stuff.
Excellent. Yeah, we're lucky where we live. We have so many fun things to do.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So how should folks get in touch with you if they want to know more about, anything we've discussed on the podcast today?
Sure. Well, we're always at one of the locations. So we're in West Arvada or in downtown Golden, and Siri will get you there. If you put Red Silo Coffee Roasters into your Siri or your Google Maps, you'll get directed right to us. We also have our website at redsilocoffeeroasters.com, and all of our contact information and a lot of more detailed info about like where we source our coffees and how how our production runs and whatnot. A lot of fun information on the website as well.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here today. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you, Meg, for asking me. I appreciate it.
Thank you for listening to the Good Neighbor Podcast. To nominate your favorite local businesses to be featured on the show, go to gnpwestdenver.com. That's gnpwestdenver.com or call 720-295-9588.